Welcome to Seeds of Thought, and thanks for stopping by. Let me ask you a question that might sting a little. How bad do you actually want success? Not how bad you talk about it, not how bad you post about it, but how bad you breathe it. See, most people say they want it, but their actions whisper otherwise. They want comfort and greatness, sleep and success, validation and vision. But you can't hold the crown and the pillow at the same time, because success doesn't show up for the one who wants it. It shows up for the one who needs it. To help illustrate my point, let me share with you the ocean lesson. A young man once came to a mentor and said, "I want to be successful. Teach me how." The mentor smiled and said, "Meet me at the ocean tomorrow at dawn." The young man showed up, fresh suit, big dreams, ready for a speech about money and mindset. But the mentor didn't talk. He just started walking into the water, waist deep, chest deep, neck deep. The young man hesitated. "This old man is crazy," he thought. "I came to learn success, not swimming." Then, without warning, the mentor pushed him under. The young man fought, kicked, gasped for air, but the mentor held him there. Seconds felt like eternity. Panic took over. Then suddenly, release. The young man exploded out of the water, choking, desperate for a breath. The mentor leaned close and said, "When you want success as bad as you wanted that breath, you'll finally understand what it takes." Lesson over. Want to know why most never make it? Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're comfortable. They want it until it costs sleep. They want it until it costs friends. They want it until it costs their comfort zone. That's why so many talk about dreams and never live them. They confuse interest with intensity. Interest says, "I'd love to do that." Intensity says, "I'll die before I quit." When you reach that level, when your desire becomes oxygen, you shift. The world starts bending around your commitment. But here's the pain points, the trade-off. Let's be real. You'll have to trade something. You'll trade parties for progress. You'll trade validation for vision. You'll trade sleep for purpose. You'll trade being liked for being legendary. But here's the twist. None of that is really a loss, because what you gain in return is clarity, self-respect, and unstoppable momentum. You stop chasing temporary applause and start building permanent legacy. Success demands a version of you that can't coexist with laziness. So here's the shift. Rewiring desire. So how do you get there? You have to rewire what you crave. You stop craving distraction. You stop craving validation. You start craving results. When you wake up in the morning, your first thought should not be, "What do I feel like?" It should be, "What must I become?" That shift from feeling to becoming changes everything. You stop waiting for the right time because you realize the right time was the moment you were born. You stop waiting for motivation because discipline is stronger than dopamine. You stop waiting for opportunity because you create your own. Let's look at a few modern examples. Look at the greats. Beyoncé once said she worked 3 days straight without realizing she hadn't eaten. She wasn't starving. She was consumed by purpose. Elon Musk slept on the floor of his factory when he couldn't afford both rent and payroll. Kobe Bryant shot thousands of free throws before dawn while others were still dreaming. 50 Cent said, "Sleep is for people who are broke." He wasn't glorifying exhaustion, he was emphasizing obsession. You can't build an empire part-time. You can't reach your destiny while living in convenience. Every great story you've ever admired came from someone who decided comfort was overrated. Here is the emotional climax, what I call oxygen moments. There's a moment every dreamer hits. That wall, the exhaustion, the doubts, the silence after no one claps for your progress. The nights you question whether this grind is even worth it. That's your oxygen moment. That's the point where average people quit and uncommon ones rise. If you can stay calm while gasping for belief, if you can keep fighting when your lungs burn with uncertainty, if you can hold faith when everything around you screams give up, then success isn't a matter of if, it's only a matter of when, because you've learned to breathe purpose even when the air gets thin. Turn pain into fuel. Stop crying about the struggle. You're already in pain. Don't waste it. If you're tired, make it mean something. If you're broke, build from it. If you're doubted, prove them right for noticing you're different. This is your moment to turn agony into ammunition. You were not built to coast through life. You were built to climb mountains while gasping for air and still saying, "I'm not done yet." The breath of greatness. When success becomes your oxygen, you don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You don't even need applause. You just breathe it. Live it, become it, because greatness doesn't belong to those who want. It belongs to those who need. So when life holds you underwater, remember this moment. Remember that breath you're fighting for, and whisper to yourself, I'm not drowning. I'm transforming. Breathe in your destiny. Exhale your excuses, and don't stop until success becomes your oxygen.